Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. We're going to be playing the Place of Challenge, another Conquer Objective map at 1500 points. I'm going to be playing as the Tyranids against the Tau. It's an 80-point target, 8-turn limit. I think the Tyranids can actually do really good against the Tau now that they've been nerfed so much with that Ethereal not being an issue. In the past, they were just an absolute disaster to kill with all that evasion and bonus health, but now that's not a thing. So I'm going to bring a Turvagon here to increase melee damage and get some healing. I've got 2 Ranifexes to shoot down any infantry. 4 Gargoyles, 4 Warriors of the Death Splitters to try to get some kills. And then I'm going to max out our Hormigons here, so that way we can take out both vehicles that may be in our way, stealth suits, crisis suits, all those things. The big thing is we just got to hope that our opponent does not go for a heavy flamer build, because that is for sure the way to counteract a Tyranid swarm build like what I'm doing here. Because what we're going to want to do is use our natural synapses through our HQ and warriors to get synapse bonuses, because those can be very substantial with increasing momentum gains all the way up to 225%. And then we also want to take advantage of swarm tactics, which is with every low tier infantry unit that's nearby. It'll increase the damage and accuracy of our units. So, and then the gargoyles themselves, not only can they soak up a bunch of overwatch, but they can then poison the Tau infantry if he goes with the heavy infantry build, and that will cause them to take damage every turn, which will help us because the Tau have no way of healing and nullifying the poison. And then it also lowers their accuracy. Now if he does a commander build, that will be pretty much nullified by his bonuses and marker lights. Now I'm not surprised he's doing a drone build. I would say I find a lot of Tyranid players usually do a lot of those little drones here, because they can actually do a surprising amount of damage to these low tier infantry units. And when you're playing a Conquer map, they have quite a bit of movement because they're hover. And that will allow them to hold control of the point, because as you can see here, I've got 3 guys on the point and he has at least 4. Yeah, 4, so it's his point right now. And the big thing is I don't want to put my guys all together, because I don't want him to flame me and end up getting some kills, because if he does have the commander and he jumps in, he can kill upwards of 4 of these low tier infantry per flamer. And then if he has a ghost kill, that would be on an additional flamer that he has access to. Alright, so we'll just bring one more over here just so the points will be in my favor. What I don't know is he gonna stealth over here or not? Because that can sometimes be a problem on these Conquer maps, as they can get some mass when they're stealthed, and then I can't see them. But I'm not sure what kind of units he has yet. I haven't heard any jump packs going off, so usually you'll see people that have stealth suits jump packing around to get some increased movement on that first turn. Kind of hate to bring these guys up again if he has a flamer, but you know, if he decides to sacrifice a commander going for some low tier units, then I guess I can live with that. Because that would be a major loss to his army. Guess we'll just put these guys on Overwatch, since I don't want to overextend too much. Because if he did a heavy infantry build, which a lot of people will also do against the Tyranids, I don't want to be too far in the front and let him just shoot and then run away. I want him to advance and have to shoot into me, and then I can close the distance since I'm going with a melee build. Alright, so 10 to 5 in our favor. Okay, here come some Fire Warriors. They're going to actually waste their marker light on the Hormigons, so I'm more than happy with that. So either he has a bunch of Fire Warriors and he doesn't care about wasting those marker lights, Or he just wants to kill me. I'm not sure which it's going to be. Alright, so he's got at least 3 Pathfinders with their ion rifles. They tend to overkill these Hormagaunts pretty bad. Something got the kill. Alright, drones are moving around for some reason. Alright, he's just setting up Overwatch, so that way he can hopefully hold the point is what's going on here. Alright, and he's body blocking with those guys. Interesting. So, I'm kind of confused. I'm not sure what he exactly has. Because I don't feel like I saw enough points move. So that makes me highly suspicious that he has a bunch of cloaked units around here somewhere. These guys can charge through. So you could charge. So the question is where can I move you guys to activate this Overwatch? I guess I can run these guys over here, and maybe if they get activated when he's around the corner. Okay, so he's got a cadre. So he's gonna go with a mass infantry buff, I'm assuming, if he's got a cadre. He's got 2 cadres. Alright. Here's his fire warriors, so he still had some other ones back there. Alright, so that ate up most of the Overwatch, so that's not too bad. What I want to do is save these gargoyles to use their poison spray onto the infantry, so we'll move this guy up here to hopefully activate some of these drones. Okay, here's a stealth suit. Okay, those other guys gonna get activated? Yes, excellent. Alright. So, alright, so he does. He has a bunch of stealth guys around here, most likely. So, how do I want to do this? Well, I guess since you've got this locked down, you have a 90% chance to hit. Or not. Okay. So I guess we bugged out where it thinks you're there, but you're really up here. So I guess we'll move you up. And that'll allow me to see the rest of his units. Alright. Well, I guess we gotta start moving you guys around to start attacking these stealth suits. And get these guys as close as possible to try to start attacking. Unfortunately, I can't get full surrounds. Let's get you over to here. Bring you up to there. You can charge into there. If I move you to here, you can attack the stealth suits with your cannons. I think what I want to do is move you up, because then you can acid spray. Let's bring the warriors. Your accuracy is actually pretty bad. I'm a little surprised by that. Alright, let's move you to here. And you can spray these guys, because that should do decent damage. Wasn't amazing, but not terrible. Actually, what I'm going to do is move you back, and then I can increase these guys' melee damage by 25%. And then I can summon these guys down here. And then you're here. You've only got 20% accuracy. God, 80%, really? Why did you do such little damage? I'm shocked by that. Well, I can add some more synapse bonuses, but again, I want to apply the poison to these pathfinders to mess them up with their accuracy. Yeah, 60%. Man. I don't know why that's so low. Yeah, it's not great. We'll get you up to here. I mean, I guess you're just going to jump 60%. Man. Well, try to do some more damage. That's a little better. Because now you should be able to charge in and get some kills, and then hopefully trigger the natural killer. Okay. Good. Now you can shoot these guys and hopefully trigger natural killer. Oh, we've got another little stealth suit down there. So if you look, you can see when there's going to be a stealth suit there, because you could hear both their shield being triggered and you could see that little animation. So that gave away their location. And now actually we can probably just move you up here and engage these guys into melee. Yeah, 95% chance to hit. Nice. Now, who do I want to fight? Actually, I wouldn't mind getting you over here to start engaging these guys. %100% chance to hit. If I move you up to here, you can then poison those pathfinders up there, which seems like it would be the best way to go. Well, I wouldn't mind increasing the damage of those guys, but I can bring these guys up to here, and that'll buff his damage. So he's got 2 swarm tactic stacks. Nobody else can get over there right now. You can attack because you did bonus damage. There you go. I probably should have attacked with the Hormigons first, because then I probably could have got the kill with the warriors. And of course now you just got the kill, so you got all this momentum, but you have nothing really to use it on. Let's move you up. You could shoot into the tactical drones. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. You're just going to hang out back here. Try to stay safe. Actually, what I probably could have do is I think you can apply poison to those guys, can you not? Ah, I should have done that first. That would have really increased my damage to them. I didn't remember if the gargoyles applied those penalties to stealth suits or not, because now their evasion's 10% lower too. Alright, well, let's just run you up to here, and then let's start messing up these pathfinders. I still don't feel like we've seen enough units to explain his forces yet. And let's bring you up to here, and you should be able to apply the poison to these other guys. And then if I keep you here, that'll keep you into range if he doesn't kill you to be able to use swarm tactics buffs with our other Hormigons. Because either he's going to have to stay in this closed zone to engage me in a fight, or he's going to have to run away from the conquest zone. So let's just keep advancing, so we can close the distance and start engaging these guys. And we'll try to hide the unit down there as much as we can. Yeah, maybe I should have just moved them up one so they'd be a little bit closer to engage. And then you'd have more accuracy penalties. Alright, let's see what he does here. So he's doing his buff, so those are extra shots. He's overcharging. Yeah, they will definitely kill the warriors. Alright, and I think that's the 100% chance to hit. Alright, so yeah, that's definitely going to kill those warriors. So he's going after my synapse creatures. These guys are shooting into the gargoyles. For some reason, he's deciding to shoot at close quarters there. Really, you want to pull away so you get him closer to optimal range, and then he would have better accuracy. And he is running away from the conquest point. Yeah, those guys he can't pull away because the Hormigons have a zone of control. Alright, he landed one of those attacks. Ooh, alright, that was very lucky. So they actually attacked two different models from, and then different models from the first stealth suit. Alright, I'm not quite sure what's happening here. It's like bugging out with the poison. Alright, well, you could attack here and get the kill, 100%. So let's do that.
This will not stop you.
Okay, good. Now you have enough to surge. And you got natural killer, so that means you're going to have two other attacks. So I'd really like to start buffing them with my guy there. Now, if I bring you up to here, you should be able to poison those drones. You can run all the way over to here to start locking down these pathfinders. And we'll bring you up to here to take out the drones on that side. And then you, with your momentum, could probably get all the way over to here. So let's just move you out of the way. You can come here. And let's get you up to here. And have you splash those guys down. And then you can come up to here. And take out these drones. And that's the Overwatch. So let's see, you have 5 movement. You can obviously charge, which would be 14 times 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I move you to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, you should be able to still attack those guys just with regular movement, and this will increase their melee damage by an additional 25% and heal them a little bit. Okay. So now let's run you up to here. And you can start meleeing these guys down. So now you do 16 to 20 times 9. Nice. But it's not quite enough for you to get the kill. So here we go. We'll bring you over to here. And then you can jump here. 80% chance to hit.
This will not stop me.
Man, I don't understand why they're doing such little damage. Well, let's try it.
This will not stop me.
Okay. Oh, one of them's still alive. Alright. Actually, I bet the gargoyle could probably get the kill, since he's almost dead. And you'll have a synapse and a swarm tactic here. So yeah, that's 85% chance, 1 to 2 damage times 20 something. So there you go. So there's another stealth suit down. I assume if he would have had a ghost kill, he would have made an appearance already. Let's start moving you guys up. And then if I were to move you up here, you might be able to shoot into some of these drones. Now, the question is, if I move these guys up to here, and you up to here, can you do enough damage that these guys will be able to get some kills and trigger the natural killer? Oh, they most certainly will. There we go. Nice. And let's move you up one and have you attack here. Good, 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 good. Alright, and so you might actually just be able to get another round of attacks here and kill these guys. I mean, I could start moving you up this way. You can come up here. I could also move you to here. Actually, we can probably just move them up this way, but we'll see if you get the kill. Yeah, you're just a little short. Nothing terrible. So let's get these guys up this way. You can come over here. Alright, you'll attack there. Finish those guys off. We've now completely pushed them off of the conquest zone. Now, let's start focusing down these pathfinders. Nice. Alright, surge and attack a second time. Nice. I mean, we are feeding them momentum with every squad wipe just through their passive, but it shouldn't be enough to really do a lot of damage to us, I would think. Because I don't think they have enough to actually start surging. Now let's move the gargoyles up. Now this should have 3 swarm tactics. Nice. So let's move you over here, and let's move you over to here so you should have 3 instead of 2. And you can shoot. Ah, one's still barely alive. But we should have this one pretty much in the bag. Because he shouldn't be able to knock us off the point, and he barely has any units left. Now I suppose he could call in a crisis suit, but we should still be able to chop those guys down. Okay, so he's using his missile strikes instead. And I always thought it was kind of stupid that they do such little damage on the splash, so they couldn't even wipe out 2 Hormagaunts. But I guess that's not really what that weapon, that attack is meant for. Yeah, so he's going after my gargoyles here. Oh, if he wants to overcharge, that's fine. Because we're going to give me some damage to your own units there, make it easy for me to kill you. I assume he's going to concede, yeah. So he ended up conceding here. That makes sense given the situation. So pretty overwhelming victory in our favor here. The Tau definitely can struggle against a mass swarm if they don't have flamers with them. So it's, let's see here, we did 4 drones, 3 battle suits, 1 pathfinder. I guess that's correct. So Tyranid obviously have 100% accuracy. Gargoyles had 76 to 100% accuracy. Warriors had 90% ranged accuracy, 97% melee, 100% range. So that works out pretty well. The Warriors actually usually do pretty well. Hormagaunts did not very good. You know, 62% for a ranged attack there. I'm not quite sure why that was so low. 100% on the 2 other attacks. 2 of them got killed before they had an attack. The Warrior had 100% in melee. Other Warriors had 80% at range. And then the Gargoyles had 75, 95. So, yeah, I'm not sure why the Hormagaunts were having such a hard time attacking. It seemed like a lot of their damage was being nullified by the stealth suit. I mean, they were only doing 15 to 20, and I was really expecting them to do upwards of 30 per attack, just given all their armor piercing. So I don't know if me using that leap ability was counterproductive or not. Maybe if I would have had my synapses be a little bit closer, then it would have increased the accuracy, and it wouldn't have been so low. And then obviously I was a little sloppy on my swarm tactics where I could have moved my guys around a little bit to get a much higher percentage, and that probably would have helped too, but I wanted to have those gargoyles be able to apply those poisons to the pathfinders, because I was worried, one, that they were going to snipe down my warriors like they did, and with the cadre, he can ignore the poison because that'll give him an auto hit ability, which is 100% accuracy, and that's why he's able to easily liquidate those warriors. Now, what I'm not 100% sure about, because it's been a while since I played the Tau, is the pathfinders with the ion cannons. Will they squad wipe warriors with 100% accuracy without overcharging? I think they will. But it'll all depend on how many shots are applied to each warrior, I suppose. What I really like to do is use that cadre ability. One, you want to make sure you have all of your pathfinders near the cadre, because what you'll do is you'll buff them with the increased amount of shots by 25% with this first ability, and then you'll give them the auto hit. And then I like to snipe down the strongest units. So, you know, yes, you can do it with the warriors, but I tend to go after the HQ units, or in my case here, since I had the Turbogon so far behind, I would have just auto hitted the Tyrannifexes, because 2 or 3 round of pathfinders will definitely get the kill there, and as you can see, they're pretty much going to be a one-shot kill to anything they're attacking that's not a medium or heavy infantry or a vehicle. But he just didn't have that. He invested a lot of units into the stealth battlesuit teams, which can be quite good, and in fact, their default weapon can be quite good against the Tyranids too, especially when you're doing a swarm tactics. But once you get cornered, then they really struggle. So I think you definitely should have gone with a couple of crisis suits, because what you can do is you'll just sit back and every turn you can launch your rocket pods into me, and that'll help you clean up upwards of 2 to 3 units per turn, unless you're shooting into the gargoyles, in which case usually it takes 2 rockets. Or you just hit it with the rockets, and then you use your fire warriors or your not stealth suits, your pathfinders to finish off the kill, and then you can really just take me out from afar and then start kiting me. And then you can, if you had a commander with you, you just jump him in, because he'll have 2 flamer attacks, and both of his flamer attacks can do another squad wipe. So that's how you really liquidate a lot of the swarm tactics most effectively. Now, if somebody goes with a super elite build and you're doing a flamer heavy build, then obviously you're going to get countered in that aspect, so that can feel bad. But that's where having a few stealth suits or going with the Ghost Keel can really work out, because he has that powerful rifle that'll allow you to take out heavy units like my Torvagon or my Tyrannifexes, or obviously a warrior too, while being able to flame down the weaker units, because even with his lower tier flamer, it'll still be enough for you to kill Hormagons, and then you could even just melee down the warriors. You wouldn't want to do that regularly. You want to make sure you get the kill, because the warriors will do good damage to them in melee. But if you're not getting the kill, then they're going to hit back, and that'll be enough to almost kill a warrior even at 100% health. So that could work out to your advantage too. Some people bring the rail guns. I mean, they have more powerful versions of the rockets that'll definitely 100% kill any light tier swarm unit that's out there. And then you'll have the railgun to be launching at long ranges to killing either a warrior or the heavy units, but then they can sometimes have difficulty staying alive and not getting swarmed down. So, you know, you just got to decide what kind of playstyle you like. But thankfully for us, he kind of did like a hybrid model, and so he just didn't have the killing potential to take out the swarm, and then we were able to just totally surround him. And thankfully it was just sheer luck that we were activating those stealth suits and moving onto squares that they were on to trigger their lack of concealment there. Otherwise we would have been moving all around him, and then he would have started sniping out warriors and things from there. Now he would have just turned around and got the kills anyways, but it was definitely very fortuitous for us that we were able to see where 3 of them were on that first turn. Well, not first turn, but on the turn of our engagement, and then just use that to our advantage to start chopping them down, because thankfully we had all of our warriors pretty nearby, so then they could start engaging them in melee, and that really put the hurt on them pretty bad. So with that, I hope that's helpful for you, and this is a good way to play against the Tau with the Tyranids here. You just got to try to keep your commanders alive. The other option is, you know, using Trigones works real well with these guys, because you can have your guys burrow underground, get behind enemy units, and then do massive rear attacks. And then if he has a bunch of low-tier infantry, you could burrow into the center of them and then just use your electroshock to do a decent damage, like a third of their health, to everything that's around you. And then follow it up with your infantry getting the kills against the weakened units, especially if you then apply the poison, because that should drop all those guys below half health. Or in the case of the Pathfinders, once you've done, about 20% of their health, if they're going to risk the overcharge, if it's that one of those units suffers the overcharge 40 damage, that would kill the model. And once you start losing at least 2 models, then the amount of damage you're dropping is worse than the buff for the increased damage with the overcharge ability. So it definitely becomes kind of a balancing act with your wanting to do some damage, but you want to keep those guys alive too. So that definitely leads to a little bit of higher tier play, kind of taking all those things into consideration. So with that, I'm going to call it quits here for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.